Hello everyone, welcome back to the basic commands of Unix. So this is the third lecture. I hope you have gone through the previous two videos of the basic command. Now let's continue with our third lecture. And today's lecture will be in today's lecture we'll be studying more about cat command in detail along with some more commands. So now let's start the lecture. So the first thing that we studied in the previous two videos was the files are generally represented by white color and the directory is represented by blue color. Though this is the default color, we can also change the colors by going into the settings, but generally they are preferred by these two colors, right? Now coming to cat command. So cat command has various functionalities. One is displaying the content of the file. Then we can also copy the content of one file to the other file. We can combine or concatenate the contents of more than one file, and then we can also create text file, and after creating the text file it is up to us whether we want to write something into that file or not. So now let's study how to create a file with the help of cat command. As we all know that, let's say if I type here ls, we all know that it will show us all the commands, all the files and directories that are present in the system, right? So these are the different files and directories. And now with the help of the cat command, what we will do is we will create a new file. Now let's see how to create it. First we will write the name of the command, that is cat, and then we will be using this operator, and then we will be writing the name of the file. In this way what we can do is we can create the file and we can also write into the file. Now let's see. If I write cat, let's say I create a file file2, and when I press enter, what happens is it is giving me this error. Why? Because if you have gone through the next second video, you will understand that if you just write cat and then the file name, it will just try to read the content of file name that is being provided. But we know that here only one file is given, that is file1, and we are trying to read a file, but that is file2, which is not at all there in your system. So how can you read the file if there is no file naming file2? So actually we wanted to create the file, but this is very much clear that if there is no file available in the system, you cannot simply read it with the help of cat. So for that what you will be doing is you will be writing cat. As I told you, you have to use this operator, and then when you use this operator and after that again if you write file2, you will find that I have pressed enter, you find that this cursor is blinking. It is telling us to write something into this file. So let's say if I want to write something, I write file2 contains Unix commands, right? And then when I want to come out of this, I have to use the command, that is I have to press Ctrl plus D on the keyboard to return to the command prompt. So I'm pressing Ctrl and D together on my keyboard to come out of this file. So when I press Ctrl and D here, I am coming out of it. Yeah, so see, I have come out of it. Now what we will do is, there is one more option. As we can see that if you see touch file name, this was also used to create a file. Now if you do this, with the help of this you can create the file, but you cannot write anything into the file. But with the help of cat command you can create the file. Now if I write touch command and I write let's say file f1, right? So I'm creating a file. So here also a file is created, and with the help of this ls command, let's see what are the different files we have created. File2 has been created with the help of cat command. In this file we have written something, right? But with the help of touch command, I have created another file, that is f1. But in this file I cannot write anything, because touch command is basically used to just create the file. We don't have the option to write into the file, but cat gives us the opportunity to write into the file. Now let's use this ls option to see what are the different files that have been created now. Now we can see that file1 was already there, right? And file2 was created by cat command, and this f1 is created by the touch command. Now, if you try to read the content of both the files, let's say I first of all try to read the content of file 2, what will I do? I will simply write f file name, that is file 2, and what you can see is it is telling me the content of the file. So file 2 contains unique commands. So just by writing this, so this is the second command, friends. So in this what we are doing is I am writing cat, and after some space I am writing the name of the file that I want to read, right? So it is used to view the content of the file. So I have written cat here and I have written the name of the file with the help of which I can read the content of the file. But what about this file F1 that has been created by touch? Let's see. I write cat here and I write F1 and I want to read the content of file F1. But you will see that we can't see anything into that because we touch is used to create the file, but it is empty. There is nothing available in that file. So that is why cat has you can say cat is a good command because it is used to create the file as well as we can write anything into the command. Now we have file 1 here in which I file 1 here, sorry, file 2 here in which I have written something. So this is there in the file 2. Now there is another command, cat third command, in which what I'm trying to do is if I have more than one file, I can combine and concatenate the contents of file 1 and file 2, and for that what we will be doing is simply I will be writing the name of the two files because I have used here file 1 and file 2. Let's say what I'll do is I will first of all remove this file 1 so that it's easy for us to relate it. So I'm removing this file, and if I once again see ls, you can see that file 1 has been removed. Now with the help of the cat command, I will once again create this file 1 so that whatever parameters I have used in this lecture, that can be related to you. So I am trying to create cat file. I'm trying to create the file 1 once again, and I'm trying to write anything into this. So here, let's say I'm writing file 1 contains Python scripts, right? And when I want to come outside, as I have told you, I have to press Control plus D. Control and D together. When I press it, I am out of this now. Now let's see the content of this file that we have created now, file 1. For that again we will be using this command. Now let's see if I write cat and after that I write the name of the file. So you can see that file 1 contains Python script. Now to apply this particular command, see the fourth command, third command that we want to study, for that we needed two files. So file 1, we have the file 1 in which we have file 1 contains Python script, and we also have file 2. In file 2 we have this content, file 2 contains Unix command. Now we want to merge both of them. So what you will do is you will write cat, after that you will write file 1, and then you will write file 2, and now let's see what is the result. Now you can see that this is now merging the content of both file 1 and file 2, and you can see both the commands, both the contents are merged together. So file 1 contains Python scripts, file 2 contains Unix command. So both the contents have been merged. So this command is used to combine or concatenate contents of file 1 and file 2. Similarly, you can change the order also. So here if I write cat file 2 file 1, so you can see that first file 2 content will be displayed, see this, and then file 1 content is displayed. So it follows the order. So the file which will be mentioned first its content will be there, and then the next file content will be there. So now coming to the next command, here we have combined the content of file 1 and file 2, but let's see what is the change that has been created in file 1 and file 2. So if I want to see whether there is some change in file 1 and file 2, let's see. No, file 1 is still containing whatever it was having earlier, and similarly see file 2. So file 2 is also having the content that it was having earlier. So what do we mean by this? So it is basically merging both of them, but it is not reflecting the contents of both the files in any of the files. So file 1 is still having the content that it was having earlier, and file 2 is also having the content that it was having earlier. but when I merge both of these files, it is displaying the content of both the files but on the terminal only. But what if I want to store the content of file 1 and file 2 into another file? For that we have another command, that is cat file 1 and file 2. In this way, what will happen, that we have done earlier also in the third command, we will merge the content of file 1 and file 2, but that can be displayed only on the terminal. But if I want to write it into another file, let's say file 3, what will happen, this operator will allow us to create a file 3, and this command will help us to merge the content of this into the file 3, right? So now what we will do is, I will write cat file 1, file 2, and here I will merge it with file 3. So content of file 1 and file 2 will be merged, and with this operator a new file will be created, that is file 3, and the content of file 1 and file 2 will be merged and it will be copied into file 3. Now let's see. First of all, we will see how many files are available with us now. Earlier we had seen the number of files that we are created. So now the commands are, let's say I write ls. So you can see that file 1, file 2 was already there, and file 3 is created just now with the help of this command, and f1 was also there, right? Now I will read the content of this file 3, because I want to know that if I am merging the content of file 1 and file 2 and I am using this command, whether this content has been copied into file 3 or not. Let's see that. So yeah, the content of file 1 and file 2 is now available in file 3. After this, what we will be doing is, we have another command here, that is move command. MOVE, short form is MV, right? And this is also the short form of concatenation. That's why we are writing just cat, CAT, which is used to concatenate the contents of both the files. So here MV means we have a file, let's say file 3. So what I will do is, I want to rename this file, right? So I want to rename this file. So let's say I have a file and I create a file here. I say I have created a file here or folder. So I name it as D. Or if I have created this and I rename it as, so yeah, I want to rename it. So if I rename it with ABC, so what will happen? The earlier file is no more there. It has been, renamed with ABC. So here also what will happen here is, when I am writing this, then the file 3 content will be copied to this new file, and this file 3 will no more exist. Now let's understand this by writing it on the terminal. Let's see what will happen. So in file 3 we know that this is the content being stored in file 3. So now what we will do here, simply write MV, then file 3 has to be renamed with, let's say, a new file. So what file we have used here, the same file we'll be using there also. So yeah, so let's say I have written new file. Yeah. Simply I will be writing new file here in the terminal. So I write new file. So now the contents of file 3 will be copied to new file. It will be moved to new file, and this file 3 will no more be there. Let's see what happens. Now first of all, we will use this ls command to see what are the new files. Earlier we had f1, file 1, file 2 and file 3. But now when file 3 has been renamed with new file, there will be a new file and file 3 will no more be there. Now let's see. Now we can see that we don't have file 3 anymore, and that file 3 has been replaced by new file, right? Also, we discussed in the first lecture that touch command is used to create a file. But there, as in this lecture also, we have created a file with the help of touch command. But with the help of this touch command, we can just create the file. So we can create more than one file by simply putting a space. So if I write touch, I have to write, let's say, F2, F3, F4. I can create any number of files like this by just putting a space between the different file names. And let's see. and we'll again use this ls command to see what are the different files that have been created now. Now we can see that f1 was already there here also. Now f2, f3 have been added, and file1, file2 and new file were already there. So f2, f3 and f4 have been created like this. So this touch command is used to create a file. Now when we want to create a directory, what I will write? I will be writing mkdir, and I am writing, let's say I want to create more than one directory. So to create more than one directory, simply the procedure is to write the names of the different directories with some space. So I am writing here, what I am writing here is mkdir d1, d2, d3. Now let's see with the help of the ls command whether these three directories have been created or not. Now you can see that these directories d1 and d2, d3 are created, right? Now the next command is, so this was basically d1, d2 and d3, right? Now to remove these files that we have created, so we have f1, f2, f3, f4. Let's say I want to delete these files. So for deleting a file, we have command rm that we have studied in the first lecture also. I will simply write rm, and I will write f1, f2, f3 and f4 with space, and we'll see that these files have been deleted. Now we can see that with the help of ls command. Now when I use ls command, we will see that these files are no more there. Now you can see that these files were there here, but now after removing them, they are not at all visible, right? They are not there. Now similarly, to delete these directories, what we will be doing is, again to delete a directory we need rmdir command. So I am writing rmdir, and then I am writing d1, d2, d3. And let's see with the help of the ls command whether these directories have been deleted or not. Now see, these d1, d2, d3 were there earlier when they were created, but now these have been deleted. Now one more point that you have to take care is, whenever you are deleting any directory, if something is present inside the directory, let's say there are some subdirectories or files present in these directories, then you cannot simply delete it. You can only delete the directories if they are empty. And this cat command has one more important point to discuss. The cat commands are basically used to create a text file, right? So only text files can be combined using the cat command, right? Now coming to so yeah, so now coming to the last command, that is ps. So if I write ps, I can see the different processes that are running in my system. So this was all about today's lecture. Now let's just revise the lecture, whatever we have done. So this is the part 3 of basic commands of Unix and Linux. The first command that we studied is touch command. With help of this touch command, we can create a file, but that file will be empty. But with the help of this cat command, we can create the file as well as we can write anything into that file. So it is used to create and write the content in the file. This command, this description is for this particular command, not this, but I use both of them to make the point clear, right? Now coming to this, now simply writing cat and then after that writing the name of the file will allow us to view the file content. Then we have cat file1, file2. Then this will help us to merge the content of file1 and file2, and it will display the merged content of both the files on the terminal, but the result of those combined content will not be displayed in file1 and file2. There will be no change in file1 and file2. Now coming to the next command, that is, we are trying to merge the content of two files and we want to create that content, means copy that content in file3. So with the help of this operator, this file3 will be created, and this merge result will be copied into file3. So it is used to combine the content of file1 and file2, and it will write it in file3. Now this command helps us to copy the contents of file3 or move the content of file3 to a file, that is new file, and this file3 will no more be there, that we have studied in the practical part also. So it is renaming this file3 as new file. Now coming to touch command. So in the first video we studied that touch command is used to create a file. but there I told you how just to create one file, but we also have the opportunity to create more than one file by simply writing the names of the file with space. Then to create a directory, we have a command mkdir. We are writing the directories continuously. We can create any number of directories with the space in between the different directories. So in this way, we can create more than one directory simultaneously. And then we have rm command is remove command, that is used to delete the file, different files altogether. So the files that we created here, we want to delete all those files. So now we are deleting more than one file simultaneously. And similarly here also we are deleting the content of the directory simultaneously by writing the names of the directories. And this is basically used for troubleshooting, and tells us about the different processes running in this. So this was part 3 of basic commands of Unix and Linux. To understand and learn more about Unix, stay tuned with our lectures and wait for the next video. Thank you so much.